She needed you to want her the way every other man does, but you were too disciplined, too principled, and that bruised her pride.
But I loved her.
Love? You never loved her. You loved the idea of her.
Hello there, my name is Fola, and in today's video, I'll be reviewing the episode 7 of ABATTOIR season 6. Let's jump right into the review.
With Chief Sonia.
Don't do that.
What?
Don't do that. Don't take me back to that nightmare.
The only issues they had then was that we were always in their shadows.
Exactly. We were in their shadows and then we were free. Free from Chief Durosoya and that's his son, Martins.
But we had more protection.
More protection.
Okay, so the first scene, just before we understood that Lucas and Luke were the child or the children of a particular photographer that was sacked. Let me backtrack. You see that scene where the two young guys were talking to the photographer and saying something around, oh, his pictures were obsolete and they didn't think that it was relevant in today's world or dispensation and they wanted him to go. I understand. Now, this is business. When it's business, you're not emotional. But you're not emotional, but you have to be empathetic as well. You are still human. And I'm saying that to say that the first thing I picked from that scene, I'm like, for the fact that he has worked with you for 10 years, if the time he has spent, if someone has spent 10 years of their life serving someone, I think they deserve some form of accolade or respect. Now, this is not to say that because someone has spent that time with you, you should make decisions that would not favor your business in turn. That is not my stand. My stand is just that because the man has worked with them, even if they are still going to sack him, at least they should be polite and empathetic about it. The other guy was even trying to use the word, but the one that I don't know his position, I don't know who he was, but it was just really speaking, and I'm like, this person has served for 10 years. If he was truly faithful, if he had given his best, I don't think that he should be let go like a dog like that. That's just my disposition. Now, moving on, we can see that Lucas was a victim of unfortunate situation, and I'm going to explain. So I wouldn't directly say that it was the father's fault. I mean, it's easy to lay blames on things that happen until we understand that some things happen because the people in the situation are not really bad themselves. They just have not grown or they've not mastered the act of managing their emotion. Now, see a man that came back from work and felt like the security part of him, the part that provides the harbor part of him was hijacked because he was let go from a job that I felt like he was doing well. And there's the other part of those guys talking about how they wanted him to grow and he didn't want to grow. Now, I'm not going to talk about that because we didn't see a full background into that happening, but I just wanted to say that one of the things that humans need to know is everything in our life should grow. So if there is, say, take for instance, now there is AI and artificial intelligence and all of that, everyone should strive to grow, should strive to update themselves so that they don't become obsolete in the present dispensation. Anyways, I digress. Moving on. I wouldn't say it's the man's fault directly, even though Lucas was just the consequence of an unfortunate situation that they found themselves. Anyhow, now we understand that the laughing demon, immediately the man started saying, smile for camera. I kept saying, that word is familiar. That word is familiar. Before it just came to mind like, oh, that's the line Ayana would always say when he wants to buy someone or unalive anybody, smile for the camera. I'm just like, oh, it was as a result of what happened in his childhood. Anyway, I spent so much time on this. Let me move on to the next. So that scene where it was a dream, Engineer Kolapa was eating with the Grandmaster, and that is not even, might not be literal. It might just be a spiritual or representation of the things happening in the spirit, because it felt like Engineer Kolapa is letting his guard down on the basis of pride or on the platform of pride. Now, most of the things that he's doing, like I've already mentioned in my reviews, they are not sponsored or motioned by the promptings of the spirit. Those are just the things that are coming from his place of ego and pride. Hence why it became so easy for him to just fall into the trap of the Grandmaster and just start dining with the devil. If you see me looking, I'm trying to look at my notes. Anyways, thank God for the ministry of gatekeepers and intercessors as regards Kolakbo. Now, I'm going to be believing that, I mean, this is part of my expectation, but I'm going to be believing that at least, if anybody is not going to take it upon themselves, Chief Durosoya at least trying to pull, what's his name, Aki, into it, because this man has tried, and that's one of the things that I'm so grateful that Chief Durosoya mentioned. If devil is trying to get anyone, and he sees that, oh, this person is trying to get a loophole, one of the strategies he uses is isolation. He tries as much as he can to isolate the person from every reasonable voice of reasoning. And I've said that, I think, 2 last episodes on my channel, that devil is trying so hard to get at Engineer Kolakbo to isolate him so that people that can talk or senses or people that are sensitive enough in the spirit to get what is going on, he would fight them so that by the time devil is going to take him down, he's going to be alone, because he understands the power of community, and that if it was with some community or believer, it's not going to be easy to take him down, none of that. So I personally believe that is a strategy of the devil, like Chief Dorosoya rightly said, but we thank God for ministry of gatekeepers and intercessors, even if you can't see it. And that's a priesthood that I think every mature believer should stand on. You should be gatekeeping for someone as others are gatekeeping for you as well, so that when someone is going to fall, God, if the person is so down that they won't see it, you be that kind of friend, that kind of person in the circle that sees it, and vice versa, because we understand that we have different seasons in life. Yeah, moving on. So that officer Kofo, I'm sorry, at some point I'm like, the officer Kofo should go and sleep. He should just go somewhere, because he's just saying everything contradictory to what Officer Gabriel and Officer Luke is saying. Like, bros, Kilen so Abidaji, Kilen, what are you saying? What are you doing? I just knew. Again, my last review, I'd mentioned that if since the cult group or the alliance group, they were inviting Engineer Kolapo to join, was not founded on the word of God. Their principles were not basically on the Bible, and the Spirit of God is not their leader, or was not what was promoting the organization. I knew that it was in deep shit. I already said it. Because tell me why he gets invited to a meeting with the governor of the state, and the governor is telling him about, oh, we want you to join our party. He wants him to join our party. Wait, so important to mention that, let's backtrack small, that this man had mentioned previously that he does not want them to just merge party. It's just that he will be their boss. Now they are changing it because they've understand that desperation is a loophole to get into Engineer Kolapo. And that's one of the things that devil does when he understand that there is a lustful desire. No, let me backtrack. There is a desire, that is what he perches on, that becomes lust at the end of the day. People do not fall for what they do not like. Now, because they understand that Engineer Kolapo is very desperate, the desperation is glaring for power. They understand that, okay, anything we bring on the table, now he's going to agree. And one of the dangerous things with these cases, once he agrees, they will be the ones to start dictating everything he's going to do. Now, he's not going to be worse down that is counterpart. What's that man's name? Would I say my leader, Prince Sasa, Prince Louis Sylvester? That one gaga, that was his own. Is Igbenyi. His end is going to be worse than that man, because that is the same thing they are bringing to the table. It's just packaged in a strange English. Now they're starting to reveal their color. I'm even going to go, because now in the next episode, apart from except if it's going to be a dream, now we see that he has decamped to their party. Now let me move on. There is I wanted to say something, that there is a need for us as believers to understand that the word of God is not just the sword of the spirit in English. Is what we use to wage wars against and guard ourselves as arsenals against the tactics of the devil. Now, I'm going to Mama Benro's scene when he was talking about how he allowed the devil's thought to cloud her mind, and she was just going on and on about how nobody was going to remember, he was missing Baba Benro and all of that. Just thank God that Martin saw that scene where she was thinking to herself that nobody was going to remember, and God used it, because if it was Benro that saw that scene was going to be useless. Thank God it was Martins that saw it. In the Open Levels devotional of the 27th of July by Pastor Yi Adeboye, that Gio was talking about I think earthly home. I can't remember if it was earthly home, but I think what I want to bring out was, it was talking about James 4:4. Know you know that the friendship with this world is enmity with God. What I wanted to bring out. So Daddy Gio had mentioned in that passage that it was not just plainly or literally about the adulterer and adulteress that we know, i.e. like sexual sin. But it was beyond that. So immediately I saw that, I brought out my lexicon, like on my phone, to check really, and I went to check the root word. I'm saying, giving all of these preambles because I wanted to link it to, I think, Hebrews 12:16, where the Bible was saying that, lest ye be any profane or fornicator among you like Esau, who for a morsel of bread sold his birthright. You see, Esau, that fornicator there was not talking about sexual sin. He was talking about lustful desires that does not glorify. I mean, all lustful desires does not glorify God. But desires generally that are lustful, that takes us away from our love for God, or takes our focus away from the love for the Father. That is just it. Now, that is who what's it called? Benro represents. I said all of this English to talk about Benro. Benro would have been the person that was taking the blessing Martins took. But see, he's the real definition of Esau. Esau in the sense that every single thing that Benro, what's the English you use? Selfishly gravitate towards are the things that takes him away from the Father. He says he's a professing Christian, yet his life clearly does not align with everything he says with his mouth. Now, he has even gone from saying he's a professing Christian. Now, it's a lot. He has gone. I'm just thinking, where all the scenes that Benro is acting, maybe, just maybe, it's a dream. But let's move on. See that heartfelt prayer. It was supposed to be for Benro, but it was very selfish. So the scripture can refer to someone as Esau, and he realizes things that have deep spiritual meaning. Yeah, somebody like Benro, yes. That is the definition. Go. Trivialize it. See the way he trivialized his mom. And he even went to his mom. His mom was like, oh, you were not around. And I said, oh God, had a vet. I was angry that scene. I was like, wait, you wanted to paint Martins in a bad light. And his mom was like, okay, so let's assume when Martins did not invite you, he wanted to sideline you. You knew it was your mom's birthday. You did not call her. The mom was trying to reach out to you. She could not reach out to you. What kind of child are you? And now let me jump. You see that scene where he was having a conversation with Martins. Now, I know I did not really like the character Gbero, but because I really love to lean into people's thoughts when I'm talking about different perspectives and the way people think. Try to make excuse for them and see if whatever they are feeling or what they think is genuine. Now, let's talk about it. Now, I personally want to understand with him that he was angry or jealous. I think that's the right word. Jealous when he saw that necklace on his mother's neck or around his mother's neck. Why? Because he felt like he gave Cecilia a gift and he didn't want to collect it. And somehow the gift found its way to Mama's neck. Now, there are various ways to it. It might be Cecilia that might have given her the necklace. Well, it might have come through, like it happened, come through Martins to Mama. But one thing I wanted to say is, okay, so what were you expecting? That she clearly didn't want to receive the gift from you. She did not want to collect it. You said, oh, you can collect it, give it to whoever you want. It's a gift of love or something around that English. Now she collected it and gave it out to someone. Why are you clingy about it? And again, I understand the situation around you. I want to be as empathetic as possible, but it was just really pointless when he was trying to put a point and I bought it. Well, how did they used to say it in the Bible? All that the Father has given to me, I've kept, except the son of perdition. I just hope that this guy is not towing the line of perdition. Anyways, let me move on. When again, I understand that Natalie is our father's daughter, favorite one, aka favorite son, favorite daughter. Almost, in fact, in her son, because our way is not really clean. When she was having a conversation with Benro, and Benro goes, "I gave her everything." Somebody laugh with me. Sorry for the laughter. I'm like, bros, be calm down. What do you mean you gave her everything? You people were not in a proper relationship. Now I understood that at some point it felt as though Cecilia gave her some attention. But that was because she felt, even though I personally didn't even understand why she felt like Bero was a potential, because Bero is a walking red big banner, big board, aka red signal, no go area, danger, wow. I don't understand. Personally, I don't. Anyways, moving on from that. Now, maybe let's say that he felt like Cecilia was giving him some green lights, and that was because she felt the relationship could lead somewhere, which I definitely doubt. I don't understand that part. Again, let me move on. But you see, Natalie, A1 law money, A1 parallel in manipulation, and I'm not shocked. Almost our Prince Louis City, aka Grandmaster. What do I expect? Because tell me why he was saying different. In fact, I just think I'm saying Sheikh Bero Nipada Lo Yaba left. Sorry. For my international audience, that means that Bero is not going to go back to a psychiatric home. Hope is not going to go back to Yaba left, because now that Natalie is starting to feed him with different things. Hey, oh God of creation. Well, Jesus interceded for us. Well, Jesus is interceding for us at the right hand of the Father. I don't know if saints do that. One more. Baba Gbero needs plenty arsenal, because you see Gbero gangan. In case you have not heard before, they are not saying that in Yoruba. They say something like "Omosan." That's I don't know how to interpret that, but it means that if you are trying to pluck an orange fruit and you are using, say, stick or anything to just eat the vine so that the fruit will come off, yes, the vine will be the one getting punished because you want to get the fruit. That's the kind of, you see that fruit gangan is Gbero, is Omosan, because they really need to go on. Seriously, he have gone. Anyways, moving on. I shall like the fact that Mama Gbero told him the truth. And again, I personally believe that Natalie's closeness with Gbero is not even about Gbero. I said that, I think, in the last two episodes, that I believe that it might be a tool to get on to Cecilia or to Martins. In any case, it's just a tool. It's a pawn in their chess game, if that makes sense. Anyways, now, well, I saw something online that Mama Gbero was carrying Gbero. It was a baby in that picture, I think on Instagram. I subscribed to it. Gbero is a baby with a man's body. Yeah, I will not explain myself. Anyway, so moving on to my expectation for the next episode. J. Mikey's character and Martins. I personally believe that, you see, I'm serious, that they got the same job. Yeah, that is just my personal belief. Because now that we are seeing that in the next episode, Martins got a job, J. Mikey's character got a job, and I'm not even going to talk about English. I'm not going to talk about Jamaica's character's family because that auntie still they vex me from that episode. Sorry, from that season, but I'm not going to talk about her. Anyways, now I think that because remember the scene where Akin was asking, I think the secretary or something, that have they not gotten a replacement? Excuse me, and he says, oh. And she says, they've gotten a number of candidates and they were going to interview them in the coming weeks. And it was like, I don't have weeks. I think that those people were interviewing for people, and maybe the secretary and the other party that belongs to the governor. Remember that the party of the governor, they will need secretary to campaign manager from the person that don't join. But the governor told Engineer Kolapo that he has to decamp to their party. And the next thing, the expectation that we saw says that he has decamped. At least when he now saw, what's the man's name? Mr. Godwin, that's Luca's father, aka Luke and Ayana. You get. Well, so I think that they got the job. J. Mikey got a job, and that one got a job. So that how that's going to play out, I don't know. Moving on, I feel like maybe the secretaries made a move without knowing what Engineer Kolapo had done, that he had decamped to another party. Okay, I also hope that Chief is able to convince, I think I mentioned that as well, that I hope that Chief is able to convince Akin to intercede for Engineer Kolapo, since he's the only one around, apart from Martins, of course, he's the only one around that had worked closely with Engineer Kolapo and is still outside, unlike Chief that is in the prison. I hope that the next episode we'll see more of Paul Israel and Kante. Yeah. So moving on. Again, like I wrote it, you remain to the watch and pray for Gbero because he has gone so low, so deep into the poto that he needs God to pick him back. So, because, again, now you have gone to fight with Martins. Martins is another voice of reasoning. Remember what I talked about isolation. It's another voice of reasoning that even God can talk to you about him, that will say, hello, bros, you don't go like this, but he has fought with him now. We don't know what is happening. I've mentioned about Natalie and the relationship about Gbero, not about him. But what I wanted to say, Natalie is the definition of bitter cola walking in his father's shadow, just to prove a point for Cecilia that does not care about him. Devil is a liar. Devil is a liar and the father of it. Well, wait again. Yeah, I was going to talk about it. What is the relationship between Mr. Godwin and Engineer Kolapo? Because in that last scene, he was saying that, he was saying Engineer Kolapo and say, Papa Godwin, don't you know me? Because I'm trying to backtrack and say, where did they pade Engineer Kolapo? I'm thinking that I hope he was not photographing for them when they were still in the secrecy here. Different things was just running through my head. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, hi, my name is Fola Ademilola. You can call me the Flourishing Fola. I review movies like I'm doing today. I create content around faith, lifestyle, personal development, and a lot of amazing things that reviews Jesus and glorifies him. I hope you've learned something in my review today. Please drop a comment. And if you've not seen the original movie, head over to Dibaba's Damilola Maigbamiloye's YouTube channel on YouTube as well and see the movie. I just share my expectation, the thoughts, and the lessons I learned in each episode. I will see you soon in my next review. Till then, stay safe and God bless you. Bye bye. Let the light shine above and beyond the darkness, to save us from the. Let it cover all of time, regardless of all memories. It is high time for a brand new revolution. The rising of a new dawn. The rising of a new dawn. To reclaim what belongs to us.